Good morning everybody, and welcome to our Facebook Live this morning. My name's Jenny McCormack. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in the UK. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. It is, just double checking, it is Monday the 15th of March, and it's been, for us in the UK, it was Mothering Sunday or Mother's Day yesterday. So I hope all the mums that are watching, or mums that you know, had a good day and were spoiled and looked after. Morning Carol to you. I've got captions running on my phone, which doesn't help. It's translating everything I'm saying, just slightly confusing at the best of times. Morning Kerry. Thank you, my darling. Lovely to have you join us. So today we're featuring vine design. This is actually the stamp set and framelits that I've used for our class in a box for for the end of February, and those boxes are all ready to go, so they will all be posted to you today. So if you've subscribed to my class in a box, then look out for that arriving in your letterbox soon. Morning Jeanette. So you didn't have to have the stamp set as part of the class in a box. But I think it's a really useful set, if only for the greetings. I have to say that the dies that go with it are stunning, and you could use the dies entirely on their own. There is a die that cuts this shape out, which is rather nice, but I think the format of these is great for all occasions, on all ages, because it's nice and crisp, it's in capitals, it makes it easy for people with less sight able to read. It's not too fancy and scripted. Suitable for men as well, because it's not too overly fancy. And then we have this lovely vine here and some assorted flowers and this tiny little one here. So these are the ones that I'm going to be using, and I'm just going to pop a sentiment in the middle of the card or to one side of the card and stamp around it. Here's a sample of the sort of thing that we'll be doing. This is just a straight happy birthday one, and stamped around it in different shades of pink. So I've got Blushing Bride, Petal Pink, Melon Mambo, bit of Flirty Flamingo in there as well. So it makes a really dainty set. But you can really change that round to be a man's card by introducing the vine, for example, here. And this is one of the top sentiment and die is the one from the vine design. So you can really change the look of it very easily indeed. So I also wanted to introduce you and remind you that the in colours for 2019 to 2021 will be retiring at the end of April. So our new catalogue comes out on the 4th of May, and that means that these colours, which come in for 2 years at a time, so we've had them 2 years, will be retiring. So I just wanted to draw your attention to those, because I know that what will happen is people will stock up on card, quite rightly, and ink refills before these colours retire. You don't have to have all 5, you can buy them individually, but if there's any here that's your favourites, now will be the time to order those to get stocked up. So the colours are Terracotta Tile, which is this lovely difficult to know what to class it under, really. It's almost in the sort of brown selection. It's not as dark as Cajun Craze, but it is tile, you know, like a Mediterranean tile. That's the best way I can describe it. This is Rococo Rose, and I didn't like this pink to start with. It's funny how colours grow on you as you use them. So this is Rococo Rose, a really nice deep but blush pink, so a very soft pink. Then we have Purple Posy, so a very light purple. We have Seaside Spray, which is that really soft blue, and the ink of this is perfect for skies. And then we have Pretty Peacock, morning Julie, which is that really deep peacock blue. So all of the cardstock will be retiring, all of the ink pads and all of the ink refills. So if you do like any of these particular colours, my suggestion would be to order them now before they go out of stock. I know we have a little back order situation with the refills, but if you do need any, then let me know and I can get them ordered ready for you. So we also have the matching ink pads. Now the Purple Posy ink pad, you may remember we had some technical problems with, in that the pigment for this particular purple was not very stable. So it started off it is one colour and it changed and moved. So Stampin' Up actually withdrew the Purple Posy ink pad because they weren't happy with the consistency of the colour. I do happen to have one, so this will be going in my retiring sale in due course. Morning Brenda. But I only have one of these because they were very limited. Demonstrators could order them to start with and then they were withdrawn. But other than that, we have the 4 ink pads to match. So Pretty Peacock, Rococo Rose, Seaside Spray and Terracotta Tile. They can all be ordered before they retire. Okay, so ink pads, refills and the matching cardstock. So let's have a look at this Vine Design stamp set. As I say, I really do like the sentiments. Makes a really crisp, clean card. So we're just going to do some simple stamping this morning. It's a red rubber stamp set, and I've already mounted the flowers and the leaves onto my blocks. And what I'm going to do is basically recreate a version of this one. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment in the middle first and then just stamp around it. And I have got 2 sizes of card to show you that you can really change the look of how it fits. So this is one of our note cards and envelopes. Now I picked out Smoky Slate, but I'm actually going to change it because I'm going to use the in colours for our stamping. So this is a note card and this is a full-sized UK A6 card. So let us start with the note card. So for this one, I'm going to stamp my sentiment and stamp around it, but I'm only going to use the smaller flowers. I might use the very tip of this vine, but I don't want it too crowded. So I'm just going to make this a little hello card. I love this hello. Stamp that and then stamp around it. So to begin with, I'm going to use, I think, I'm going to use my Purple Posy because it hasn't seen much love. And I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape. So I'm just going to use those 2. And I might, if I do add in some of the leaves, I might add those in Smoky Slate or something. Not quite sure. So let's grab the hello stamp. as I say, it's a really nice nice font, particularly for people who may be you know, partially sighted or struggle reading some of the script stamps and things like that. So let's pop Gorgeous Grape on there. So I hope everybody is well that's joined us this morning. Morning, Jill. So the size of this card that I've pre-cut is 3 inches by 4.5, and that will fit our note card size, which is 3.5 inches by 5. I've got ink on my fingers already, look. Hey ho, it is Monday morning. So let's pop our hello in the centre. So just inking this up lightly. Pop this down so I can see how it's stamping. And I'm going to put this right in the centre, hopefully fairly straight. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's get to clean that off. Okay, and now I'm going to use the other colours around. So I am going to use my purple posy, and I could also use Highland Heather, but I'm just introducing really the 2 colours and possibly a grey for the tips of these vines. So if I put the whole thing in, it really does clutter, in my opinion, that hello. You want space around it. Morning, lovely Ninny. So what I'm going to do is just add in some of these flowers. This might be my favourite one, sort of double flower here. So I'm just stamping around the image, remembering to go off the page to make it look much more natural, as if you're looking out of a window, like so. Let's add another one here. There we go. And then I'm going to add in some of the other flowers, and I'm going to just attach these, excuse me, very lightly to these flowers like so. And this one here. So just building them up slowly, there's no hurry. It's very simple. You could literally do this. You could also do this with 1 colour ink by stamping off first and then getting a lighter and a lighter version. So let's see, we've got this little pretty one here, which I'm going to do in the lighter. So just take your time. Don't over ink. Don't press this too hard. The temptation is to, even if you have a light ink pad, is to press quite hard, and then you pick up the edges of the ink pad if you're not careful. So I hope everybody who is joining us is well. It's dull and cloudy here at the moment, quite breezy still, but quite pleasant. Okay, let me just have a little bit of my coffee. Before it goes cold. So we do have this little piece of leaf, And then we have this little flower, and I've used that one, and we have this bigger one. So the thing that I find easiest is just look at the scale of the card as to whether you need to add in larger images or smaller images. So I am going to add in this little leaf, but I'm going to add that in smoky slate, I think. Because I just want to keep these all sort of balanced. Oh, well done, Wendy. Wendy's had her COVID jab. I've got mine this afternoon. I mustn't forget. Mustn't forget to go. Okay. So just adding in a little bit of these leaves. Like so. So you can do this obviously with any stamp set that's got a variety of shapes or different sizes. So this could be, there's a very nice circle stamp set with lots of different circles, so that would be a nice one to use as well. So it doesn't have to be flowers. If you're not into flowers, you could just use leaves, a whole series of different colours of leaves. So now I'm going to use this little small one to add in a little more detail. So I've only used the grape here on that larger one. So I'm just going to use this to fill in any gaps and bring it in closer to my sentiment if I want to. So it's not no technical stamping here, it's just very simple stamping, starting with the largest flowers and then working down, and just let the stamps do the job. Let's have one in here, and then just to finish it off, I'm just going to use a little bit of the lighter colour, filling in any gaps. Like so. So really simple stamping. I'll do, you know, if you want a challenge, try doing some simple stamping. As I say, it doesn't have to be flowers, it could just be leaves. Leaves makes a great man's card. There we go. There we are. I think I need a little bit extra in here actually. So I might use this one again with the light. Thank you for the thumbs up, ladies. And here, so you can have, you know, do have some overlapping areas. Don't feel that you've got to have them, you don't really want them all separate, because in nature, you know, trees and leaves and everything overlap, don't they? So that's going to be my first card. And I'm just going to pop this onto a note card base. So really easy, and add a little bit of bling, of course. So I've got a note card base and envelope at the ready. Now I picked up the smoky slate, so I'd have one at the ready, but I could easily switch this out for a piece of purple posy or gorgeous grape. Let's have a look. So if you're not quite sure what colour to use underneath, then just get a piece of the colour and try it out in the corner of your card. So that's the one with smoky slate underneath. And then this is the one with purple posy. So to my mind that blends in too much. There's too much purple posy going on. But I could have a look at a piece of gorgeous grape for that. Let me have a look. I'm sure I've got an off cut of this one. So there's gorgeous grape in that corner. So I discounted purple posy because I think it's too close. It doesn't give enough of a definition. So gorgeous grape, or the more subtle smoky slate. What does anybody suggest? I'm not sure I could go mid-tone. I could pick up Highland Heather as a mid-tone. Gorgeous grape for Catherine. And grey, smoky slate. So two greys. Oh, two greys and two grapes. Oh, tricky. I think they both look nice. I suppose it might depend on the recipient. Grey, grey. Oh, it's 50-50. Oh, I think the grey takes it just, but I don't think there's much in it. I think you could use either, to be honest. So I'm going to use this piece of smoky slate just so it picks up. And it's amazing how you see those leaves now, whereas if you have it on the grape, your eye is drawn to these flowers. I don't know if you can see that. It sort of, it brings your attention to the matching colour. So I think they're both nice. I've got this piece which is ready cut, so I'm going to use this one. Right, let's load this up. So just straightforward adhesive added to the reverse, or both. Yes, you could actually cut it down the middle or crossways and have half and half. You could certainly, or you could have it layered up twice. So you could do that onto that, onto that. Yeah, that would definitely work as well. And then you've got, it picks out everything, doesn't it? Okay, as I haven't got much space to play with, I'm just going to leave it like that. Sorry, ladies. I am going to add a little bit of bling and a little bit of stamping inside. Let's just fold this and score it. So just hovering this over so I can see that I've got it central, like so. Let's add a couple of flowers on the inside now, even though I've just put these away. So I've got my envelope and I've got my inside, so I'm just going to have a look and see what I use so that I replicate that. So I've got this one in the dark, this one in the light. So this is Gorgeous Grape. do the same for the envelope. There we go. As I say, the purple posy ink pad is not available to order. Ooh. Sit, throw it around. Hopefully it hasn't got any cat hair on it. Like so. Voila. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of grey for some leaves. So this is on a note card size, so I've deliberately chosen the smaller images. There we go. So just think about the card that you've got and the scale of that card when you're stamping. So there we go. Hello. You could add thinking of you on the inside, but I quite like that as it is. Let's add a little bit of bling. Of course. So I could definitely use these pearls on here. So these are called Pastel Pearls. They're in the spring, well, the January to June catalogue, our sort of spring summer. So this has got gorgeous grape, and this is actually Highland Heather, but it's also got a seaside spray, but against the grey this almost looks grey, so I think that would be a nice mix for that. So let's add in, I don't know if they're too big, let's have a look. It might be too big. Let's add 1, 2 and 3. So there we go. So that's card number 1 all finished. So what I'm going to do now is a similar thing, but I'm going to base it on a larger size card. So I am going to introduce this vine here. It's a really stunning stamp. The tip of this is like this one here, so which is why I've only used the tip, the little one in here. Morning, Louise. Thank you, Julie. As I say, let the stamps do the work for you. That is the secret. Take your time and don't overdo it. As it, who was it that said sometimes it's hard to know when to stop, isn't it? Okay, so that's my note card and envelope size. And you could obviously do a whole bunch of those fairly quickly. Let's now move it up to our larger card size. So I've got this piece here, which should be it's 3 3/4 inches, so that's 9.5 centimeters. And I'm going to use some of the blues. So these are the retiring colours. So I'm thinking I'll use Pretty Peacock Seaside Spray and maybe Smoky Slate. So I'm going to make this more of a man's card. So although it's got floral images, you don't always have to think pure flowers. If you're using this and maybe this one, which is more geometric, you can really change the look to a man's card. Obviously this has got a nice with sympathy sentiment, so this would make obviously an effective sympathy card. Just wiping these off in preparation. There we go. Thank you, Lynn. You know me, I do simple. So I have popped this vine design, the larger stamp, onto a block. So it's quite a big stamp. Doesn't quite fit on a D block. Let's move this out of the way. Okay. Let me just bring... Oh yes, basket of blooms, yes, and the thoughtful bloom stamps would definitely go with this. You're quite right, Wendy. So, as I say, we're saying goodbye to our in colour shortly. So again, I am going to stamp my sentiment first. So this time I'm going to make my sentiment further down on the right hand side. So I think, what shall I use? I might make this I might make this a thank you card. I'm just looking at the size of that as well, really. I might make this a thank you card that would be suitable for sending to well, a male or female, an all woman really. But my choice of colours is going to dictate more who it would be suitable for. So here is my thank you, and I'm going to use this pretty peacock. Now these two are some of my favourite blues at the minute, so I shall be sad when these retire. So this is Pretty Peacock. Just having a look to see how that is stamping. There we go. I've got it on a slight slant. And ink on my fingers. Let's try that. There we go. Gosh, I'm making a real mess today. That's better. So what I've done is I want to line it up with the line of the block. Okay. So the good thing about stamping onto a piece of card is that if you mess it up, you can turn it over, as opposed to stamping straight onto the card. So I'm going to pop my thank you here. Yes, me too. I just think the sentiments are, you've got something of everything, haven't you? Congratulations, thinking of you, sympathy, birthday, hello and thank you. Really, you know, that covers just about every scenario. Okay, so there's my thank you. And I do also like this border, which has a matching die. So if you look at this one here, so this is all in Night of Navy. And I've stamped and stamped the border for that. And this is the ornate layers behind it. Just happens to fit perfectly. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp around that with Seaside Spray, Smoky Slate and Pretty Peacock. You could keep this to one colour if you wanted. Yes, it's a good beginner stamp set. So I have got just deciding what colour to do these in. I think I'm actually going to do this in the peacock. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Those cards are in addition to the ones that I've done for our class in a box for this month, which feature that. Oh, just dropped that. Oh, that was close. Which feature that stamp set. So let's bring this in from the top. So I'm stamping with this with Pretty Peacock. If you want to see the cards from my class in a box, I'll happily show those to you. They use the dies actually, which are something else, I have to say. Okay. There we go. And I might add that little bit at the top. So because this is a big stamp, I'm leaving the stamp on the table and inking it from the ink pad. That allows you to see where you've inked it up, and also, you know, guarantees you'll get a nice nice coverage. So I'm going to bring this one down in here. There we go. And I might just have a little bit in that top end. So although I'm only going to use a little bit, I always ink up the whole stamp, because it's very easy to think you've stamped the right bit and you turn it over and then find you've stamped something else altogether. There we go. So that's my Pretty Peacock. And I've got Seaside Spray and Smoky Slate that I'm going to add into this. So I am going to use this sort of pointed flower. To fill this in. And make sure that you're positioning it at different places on the edges. Like so. And then I'm going to add in, I think, I want to add in this one, because again it's quite geometric. So I'm going to do this in Seaside Spray. So obviously you can stamp this as a one sheet wonder, exactly as you will see Ruth do from Artful Stamping. So instead of doing individual cards like this, you stamp it across the base of a card. Go. So I'm still overlapping in here, like so. And I just want a little bit extra in here, so I'm going to pick up the leaves, but this time in the grey, just to add in a little bit extra, fill in any gaps. So again, really simple stamping, just up the scale because it's a larger piece of card. I think that is all I'm going to do, like so. This feels a little bit gappy here, doesn't it? So I'm just going to add in this one. And a smoky slate. There we go. That's it. Stop. Okay. Ooh. Put my fingers in there. Should have done the envelope while I was there, but never mind. Okay, so now I've got my card ready. I've got a card base, and I'm just going to decide what layer to put behind it. So again, don't feel you have to cut your card up ready. Just use the corner of even a full card and just layer these up and see. So that one amounts to nothing in my opinion because it's too light. This is the peacock that's going to make that peacock really stand out. Like so. I think that could be the winner because I think the slate will be too dark. So let me just cut this down to size. And obviously on any card you can add bling, you could add Wink of Stella. You know, there's a whole series of things you can add to that. Yeah, Brenda agrees. Peacock it is. So I'm just cutting this as a layer to size, so 14.35. by 10 centimeters. That will give me a ½ centimeter area all the way around. And onto that. So again, just going to layer this up like so. Two, three. There we go. So really the adhesive of your choice. So this is our Stampin Seal, which replaces what was our snail. It's stronger than snail, and we have Seal Plus, which is even stronger again. Okay. There we go. And to that I can then add again a little bit of bling. Let me turn this sheet over because it's a bit messy for you to see what's going on. So I think I do have some pretty peacock rhinestones on here, or I have plain, and I also have silver, which is a matte silver. See if I can find those. Metallic pearls, which would pick out the silver colour. So I could pop these in the centres of these flowers here, or I could just use 3 of these peacocks. Yes, it is quiet. Sometimes you don't always know that it's covered, do you? I think I'm going to go all peacock with this one, so pick up these. These are the larger ones. So I could put them in the centres of the flowers, or because I've got a fair bit of space, I can just dot these around. I want to get rid of that cat hair though. So, ooh, that clashes, doesn't it, in my mind, because it's not quite in line with that one. So I'm going to lift that one. There we go. That's better. If it's not quite in line, it draws your attention to it. So there is that one there. And obviously I can stamp on the inside as well. Let's just do a little bit of that. And then if you want to see the cards from my class in a box, I will show them. But if you've already seen them, then no worries. So again, inking up the whole of this, even though I'm only using a part. And you always want to have one item, either the stamp set or the ink pad, on your table. You don't want to be doing it up in the air. I'm just going to turn this back over to use the stamp side, and that will keep the other one ready for tomorrow. So let's just pop this one in. Okay, Kerry, no trouble at all. There we go. There's that one. Like that. Might add in a couple of these in Smoky Slate. And we're done. So you can just do a straight monochrome card with a single colour. And it's quite a good way to challenge yourself if you struggle with colours and putting colours together, is just pick out a single colour, like on this one here with the Night of Navy. Just a single colour, and it makes it look very different to this one. You almost wouldn't believe that was the same stamp set, would you? Okay, so there's our finished thank you card. Let me turn this over. There we go. So there is that one. So both of those were created using Vine Design. Let me show you the cards that we're making in this month's card class. So we have a complete mix, and this is using the Vine Design matching dies. So there's a circular die with these flowers. Now none of the sentiments come with none of the stamped sentiments come with the kit, because we can't send out stamped sentiments, but most people have sentiments of their own. And obviously if you've purchased the Vine Design stamp set, which you can do along with the class, then obviously you've got your own sentiments there. So we have this one here with the circular one with the flowers, and then an Easter version using the oval die cut, which just looks like an Easter egg to me. I know it looks like an oval, but looks like an Easter egg decorated. And this is just being coloured in with blends pens. And then I've matched the whole set with these Love You Always papers. So here is a bit of colouring in. This is using Poppy blends pens with a little bit of yellow on the edges. Oh, that's okay, Jill. No worries, you can watch us back on catch up. And then we have this one here using the blending brushes. So I'm showing you different ways of colouring in, and you do get a blending brush included in the class pack. There is a bit of a shortage of those at the moment, so some of them will follow on afterwards. And then this is using that sentiment and the die cut, and this is just coloured in with blends pens, again from the papers. And then This one is in gold and it features 2 of these die cuts put side by side. Looks like one large die cut, doesn't it? But it's actually 2, and those are all included, as well as all these pieces. And then a little bit of fussy cutting from the papers. And then this one, this is the same die cut as here, and I've just embedded it inside a frame like so. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 different cards you can make with this month's Class in a Box. You get plenty of papers. You actually get half a pack of the these papers to play with, and you get obviously all the die cuts and everything. Oh, thank you, Wendy. They're not, I have to say, they're not absolutely original ideas. If I've used something that's come directly from another demonstrator, then I do credit them accordingly, but most of these are you know, simple stamped cards. You get all the die cuts so you can colour those in, just colouring. You know, nothing technical with this class at all. So there we go. Thank you, Kerry. So that's it. So if you've ordered my Class in a Box for this month, they're all going out today. So Catherine, who was watching, Molly, I can't see who else was watching earlier on, so yours are all on their way to you. So thank you for joining me today. Gone on a bit longer than I intended for a Simple Stamping Monday, but there we go. So these were the cards that we created. This one here and this one here, and introducing you to, sadly, the in colours that will be retiring. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you have a good week. Oh, Easter ideas, yeah. So, I mean, you could use either of these for Easter, couldn't you? If you've got the dies for this one, it makes a really easy Easter card. So I hope you have a good week. Excuse me. I will be back tomorrow, Tuesday. Thank you, Lynn, at 5 p.m. and Thursday and Friday at 5 p.m. Oh, pleasure, Wendy. Thank you. And thank you always for your support and help. You've helped me out on many occasions. Thank you. So I do hope I'll see you tomorrow. This will be uploaded to YouTube shortly. So if you've missed it on Facebook Live, you will have found me. If you're watching this now and it's not live, you'll have found me on YouTube. So thank you for that. Have a good week. I hope to catch up with you soon. Look after yourselves and your loved ones, and I hope you can keep crafting. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody, and have a good week. Bye-bye.